I'm now on the HSCC stand with the Competition Secretary of the Historic Sports Car Club, Alan Jones. Good afternoon, Alan, and welcome to Race Retro 2020.
Good afternoon, good to see you again. Welcome back for another year.
Can we talk about some of the series you had last year that were very successful, the historic Formula 2 and the Thunder Sports?
Yes, there were the historic Formula 2 we've been building over the years, and that's down a lot to the work of Roger Bevan and his wife Maureen, and we culminated in with an award at the RAC for the best historic series in 2019. Strangely enough, we have now got to a situation where for the majority of the Formula 2 races we are fully subscribed, and when we came to the Silverstone Classic we are actually heavily oversubscribed. The initial entry we had 10 reserves, so that is something that we're really pleased with. The Thunder Sports, well, that's reviving a name, and it's very simple in when you revive a name. This series had previously been known as the Pre-80 Endurance Challenge. People were unquite certain where they were going, and we said to him, well, actually all it is the Thunder Sports that we used to run. And somebody said, why not go back to calling it Thunder Sports? And immediately we had that response. People were identifying with it, and they were coming back to us and say, well, I used to race in the original Thunder Sports. And they're now coming to us, they're going to be bringing out new cars, and the next season we're building heavily on what we did in 2019.
And of course you had another successful season with the Formula Saloons.
You're thinking of the Dunlop Saloon Car Cup, which we previously had as the Super Tours. Dunlop coming on board again, that made a big difference because it identified us back with the original Touring Car Championships, and it was fortunate that QuickFit had taken over the title of the current championship, so Dunlop then were able to come to us and say, here you are, you can be Dunlop Saloon Car Cup. And again, we're now building well on that, and we've had a lot of people at this show coming to talk to us and saying, we've got cars and we're coming to race with you in 2020.
And have you got a round abroad this year?
We're taking the Dunlop Saloon Car Cup to the Spa 6-hour meeting as part of our traditional closed wheel grid. So it gives them an opportunity to race on this iconic circuit at one of the best known historic meetings in Belgium too.
And of course this year you've got amalgamation of the old classic Formula Ford 1600 that's joining your historic series, isn't it?
We're now operating two championships, so we've got the classics and the historics. They're running independently, they stand alone, but of course we're bringing in that next generation of cars, the kind of cars that I sort of grew up with. So my personal memories of Formula Ford were the likes of John Village, Giancarlo Cane. I saw Senna when he was doing Formula Ford. So it's all those cars, and of course you've got the car of my particular racing hero that maybe not everybody remembers, but Jim Walsh. Yes. You saw Jim Walsh at Silverstone, and it didn't matter where he came into Woodcote, outside, inside, you'd be looking to see him to be a winner. And of course we've still got Rick Morris with the classics, another Crompton Lighting sponsored driver in a original car. So that's really good to have that on board. And we've got, for the start of our season, we're actually now creating yet another festival of a kind, because we're bringing together all 8 generations of Formula Ford at Snetterton, where the first Formula Ford festivals started. So Mr. Palmer's very pleased. We're resurrecting the Snetterton Festival, and it's 4 races, 4 grids, 8 races. It's going to be fantastic.
Now, getting back to last season, you had the first meeting at the Anglesey circuit, didn't you? Which was a fantastic success. I was there. Great weather, great races. But you're not going back this year. You're going to Pembrey, is that correct?
Yes, we're going to Pembrey this year. It's the circuit's 30th anniversary. I understand that they hope to have the new big garages built in time for our race meeting, so that's really good news. And we haven't forgotten Anglesey. We spoke at the end of last year about what we can do in 2021. And the same applies again to Croft. We couldn't go there this year, primarily because they've got the touring cars in what will be our traditional slot. So again, we're looking at 2021 and being back at Croft. We try to make it interesting, varied, because you don't want drivers getting bored, do you?
And of course, it's something like the 26th year of the Historic Sports Car Series, isn't it?
Whoa, yes, yeah. What you're thinking back, probably Historic Road Sports.
Yeah.
Of course, that's where both of the road sports characters started. Yeah. And interestingly enough, we've still got a few drivers in there that were there originally, and some of them still with their original cars too.
So it's looking pretty healthy for this year and in the following years then.
Yeah, we're looking healthy. We're looking to build on what we've got. We're going to experiment with 2 new series this year because we're all getting older, and we've got to accept that to keep going, to keep the club alive, we've got to have cars that the next generation of people can identify with. So we're looking at something called the Jeff Lees Trophy, which is for single-seaters, and we're also doing an 80s production challenge, which is bringing together saloon cars and GT cars. Now, you probably remember the Unioil Saloon Car Series, don't you? Back in the day of production.
I do, yeah.
And it's those kind of cars, again, it'd be great to see back. Who knows, we might be able to look at 2021 and having a Will Hire tribute if you get enough cars going.
Yeah, I remember that as well, yeah.
And with our Jeff Lees Trophy, one of the cars that's definitely on the cards to be coming to us, because we've got Formula 2s, Formula 3s as well, and we're going to bring, one of the drivers is bringing to us the ex-Damon Hill Cellnet car. It's there, it's on the button, and it's going to be at Brands Hatch in April.
So it's all go ahead, yeah. So thank you for the interview, Alan, and I hope it does all go ahead as you plan it to go ahead. And the following year, 2021, you get the new formulas in as well.
Yep, I hope so, and we look forward to meeting all of our friends, old and new, and let's get the year started.
Thanks very much for the interview, Alan.
Cheers.